Hey, what's up, y'all? I am sitting here in the car ride line waiting to get my kids, and I'm just sitting here reflecting on the year so far. And I say so far because even though it's close, y'all, it's not over. Some people are already jumping into 2023. I'm like, we have 16 more days left. You know the types of things God can do in 16 days. So I'm not counting it out. So that's why I say the biggest thing I've learned so far is that there is power in the pivot. If I've learned nothing else this year, I've learned that I have to be willing to make a pivot and make changes when I need to, and not allow myself to get stuck laying down on the ground. I will be honest and share, and if you listen to the podcast, you already know, it's been a tough year for me personally because life looks so different, and I can't, I haven't really been able to fall into a routine, but I wholeheartedly believe that that was intentional because God realized that I was too married to structure and what it is that I wanted to do and trying to do things in my will versus doing things in His will. And so He turned my world upside down. It was like, now figure this out. And there were a couple times where I straight up acted like a toddler and laid on the ground and just sat there, and He was like, and so then I had an option. I can either continue to lay there, or I can get up and try again, or get up and try something different. But I had to get up because He was like, well, you can lay there, but I mean, what's going to happen while you lay there? And so if when you get knocked down, if you decide to lay there, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to happen. But if you get back up, you at least have the possibility that something different can happen this time. But laying down guarantees that nothing changes. Getting up gives you the possibility that things can change. So I have had to learn to embrace things not working out. And I think I'm going to try to stop calling it failure, because I think failure is subjective. And I realized that I considered things to be a failure when they didn't work out the way I wanted them to. And it's not about me. It's about me operating in God's will. And so if something is meant for me, the one thing I do know is that it will be mine. And so if something doesn't work out the way I expected it to, there's probably a lesson in it. Something good comes of it somehow, some way. And so I made a proposal to somebody for something that I would like to do, and I pitched it. And I don't know what the response is going to be, but here's what I know. Even if they tell me no, there will be something that I can get from this. Okay, let me tell you how it could work out. So say they look at this proposal and they're like, no, that does not work for us. What they may say is, but we'll hold on to it. And how do I know? Y'all, I'm going through the through the car ride line. Hold on, I got to put my number up for my kids. Okay, well, while I'm waiting. So, say the things do not work. Okay, hold on, one more time. Hi. All right, thank you. Have a good weekend. So, how do I know that they don't know somebody else who may come around and say, I was looking to do this. And this person could say, you know what? This lady named Jamaica pitched a proposal to me, and it didn't make sense for our business. But what she pitched would absolutely make sense for what you're trying to do. Let me give you her information, and you can reach out to her. So guess what? It didn't initially work out the way I wanted it to, but in the end, it can still work out for me. That's what Romans 8:28 means when it says all things work for your good. So it may not work out the way you expect it, but it can still work out for your good. And so now, instead of calling it, failure, I'm just like, okay, things didn't work the way I expected. But now I pivot. And every time I pivot, I learn something different. So that's been the big thing. There is power in the pivot. And as long as I am willing to get back up after I fall down, I never lose. There's always something to gain from getting back up. So if you needed that perspective, if you feel like you've been down and out and you feel like you're still down, get up. It's time to get up. It's time to pivot. Find the power in the pivot. And let's finish 2022 strong.